Hello everyone, my name is Seeds and welcome to a basic tutorial on how to use your jetpack for the highest speed, or as I'm going to be calling it, speed jetpacking. Now what we're going to be discussing here is how to min-max your speed to traverse the map as fast as possible. Now what you're seeing on the screen right now is the 4 different ways you can utilize your jetpack. First off, in the bottom left hand corner, you'll notice that you can use it none at all, so you can run with purely movement speed, and you'll see how that works out in the end. Second is immediate usage, which is basically when you use a jetpack, so long as it's available to traverse the map as fast as possible. You have partial recharge, which is usually when you're using 2 to 3 bursts at a time, and then you see full recharge when you get the full effectiveness of the full 4 boosts that are available to you. And now this requires a nice little neat trick that we use, which is basically you touch down in between bursts. As I'm sure you've noticed already, is that it's much more effective than using the partial recharge, immediate usage, or just movement speed. So that's something to keep in mind when going forward, that using all 4 boosts is better than using 3. Math. So now that we have that in mind, just so that you guys can see it on screen, like we're already severely ahead and we didn't even optimize our route. One thing to note about this map is that this currently is being done on Armory in a downhill terrain. What that means is that this is an ideal situation for the jetpack boost as a whole over movement speed. So each of the jetpacks will work much better in comparison with the original movement speed. Now, in high terrain, or when you're going uphill, what you'll notice is that the majority of the terrain difference will impact you immensely, because you're not going to be able to just go downhill the entire time. The difference between each one will be exemplified. And now that we know that which method is the fastest, how can we min-max that a little bit more effectively? Well, let's take a look at perks. One of the most commonly discussed debates is the difference between a jetpack recharge and movement speed. Which one's faster in getting you across the map? Well, I could break down the math for you and show you exactly how it breaks down over the course of a match, but instead I figured it would be best to show you just in a straight race between jetpack recharge perk in the bottom right and movement speed in the top left. Now, when you look at the fact that jetpack recharge gets you up there a little bit quicker on that jetpack, you'll notice that movement speed is very far ahead in regards to the actual race portion. While jetpack recharge may not be faster than movement speed, it does provide combat effectiveness and allow you to position yourself better in combat, but I'll get into that a little bit differently, because that's a different discussion that requires a comparison between jetpacking position and burst movement, as opposed to just standardized movement with movement speed during combat and which one's more effective. So now that we have that in mind, let's take another look at a close-up difference between the 2 different burst styles. The 3 burst style, which is 2 to 3 immediate usage bursts in succession over time, and you'll notice that we get to about the bottom of this pillar in downhill terrain. Now, if we use the touchdown method with a full jetpack discharge, you'll notice that we do get actually quite further. So that is something to keep in mind if you're really trying to optimize your jetpack usage. Now, when going uphill, you'll notice that this difference is exemplified. Well, that's it for this video. This was a quick tutorial on how to use your jetpack effectively to get the maximum distance and the maximum speed possible. Now, keep in mind that these were, ideal scenarios, as in no monster was touching me, but that should cover the basics for how you can traverse the map more effectively. Now, in the meantime, if you liked this video and you thought it was a good video and you want to see more of them, click the like button. If you disliked it or thought this was pretty much a garbage video, then click the dislike button. If you have something that's a little bit more complicated or you want to leave feedback or ideas for future videos, make sure to let me know in the comment section and let me know what you think. So in the meantime, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.